When you want an exciting story, where do you look? Marvel, DC Comics, anime, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars? There's no shortage of exciting franchises, but there's another place you might not have thought of: the Bible. Yep, stick with me to find out just how exciting Bible stories can be. If you're a friend on Facebook, you probably know over a year ago I dusted off a novel that I thought I had finished, titled Thine is the Kingdom. But when I revisited it, I realized I needed to rethink it, and the result was Quest for a King. So why would I write novels based on stories in the Bible? Isn't the Bible boring? Well, rather than being uptight, self-righteous, and tedious, the Bible shows people, warts and all, with all the jealousy, rage, betrayal that comes with being human, but also with shining moments of faithfulness, honor, loyalty, and courage. The stories are universal, which is why the Bible has stood the test of time. But is the Bible exciting? Most people know the story of David killing Goliath, and that's certainly exciting enough. A disadvantaged hero against an unbeatable foe. I cover David and Goliath in Quest for a King. But did you know David's killing of Goliath started a whole series of events where King Saul determined to kill David? So David had to go into exile. That's the theme of the second book in the Age of the Kingdom series, Exile of the King. David was already anointed king by Samuel, but it took almost 20 years for the promise to be realized. David was on the run for almost 10 years out of those 20, and 600 men, also outcasts, joined him in the wilderness along with their families. They were constantly on the run, just one step ahead of King Saul, who came after them with armies much larger than their band. One time, Saul and his army were right on the heels of David and his group, about to catch them, when word came that the Philistines had invaded Israel and Saul was forced to break off pursuit. And how about this? David married Saul's daughter, Michal, and when her father first tried to kill David, she helped him escape by letting him down from a second-story window using bed sheets as ropes. Because of that, Saul forced her to leave David and marry an older stranger. There's a similar story in the New Testament where the Apostle Paul is being pursued by men who want to kill him, and his friends let him down from an upper floor in a basket so he's able to escape. Paul had many adventures on his missionary journeys. He survived stoning, shipwreck, and was bitten by a poisonous snake. He had a really exciting life. You may have seen movies like The Ten Commandments, where God used Moses to part the Red Sea. The lead up to that was that Israel was enslaved in Egypt, and Moses was leading them out. But the Pharaoh of Egypt was in hot pursuit, wanting to take them back into slavery. There were mountains on either side of them, the Red Sea before them, and Pharaoh's army behind them. But just in the nick of time, God opened a way to walk across the Red Sea on dry land and escape. Pharaoh's army, pausing just briefly to wonder why the water was being held back, I guess, followed them in, and the water came crashing back down on them, and they all drowned. Now, whether you believe that that story is true or not, you have to admit these are exciting stories. If you don't believe, at least you can appreciate them like you appreciate the miraculous things in Harry Potter. Since I believe in God and that He's capable of such things, I believe these stories, even though I don't understand how He did it. It's true that reading some of the Bible stories can be less than exciting because the Bible writers were not trying to create adventure stories. They were trying to direct their readers to God. Now, exciting things did happen, like God delivering Israel from the Egyptians, and those help us to appreciate how God is able to help us in our own difficulties. But I'm writing the Age of the Kingdom series of novels because there are a lot of really great stories in the Bible, and even a lot of believers don't know the nitty-gritty details. A lot of people have written about David and Goliath. I mean, a lot. But to me, it's interesting how these events affected people around the people in the foreground in the Bible, and that's why I'm writing these books. If you've stayed with me thus far, I hope you'll like this video and subscribe. Click on the bell to be notified when I post another video. And in the description, I've put links to some books that might help you if you're just getting started reading the Bible. Quest for a King begins with another exciting story that may not be well known. There was a battle between Israel and the Philistines at Ebenezer in central Israel that was catastrophic for Israel. 40,000 men died. This was about 20 years before Israel's first king, Saul, was crowned. The Bible doesn't give much detail about the battle, but combining our knowledge of warfare, weapons, and tactics, and what we know about people and culture of the time, I have written from the viewpoint of fictional characters showing how they were affected. If you like action movies or books about war, you'll like Quest for a King. The tragedy continued after that because the Philistines occupied Israel and they destroyed Shiloh, which was the city where the wilderness tabernacle was located. That was where the Israelites gathered to worship. So I believe there are a lot of exciting stories in the Bible, and that's why I'm writing the Age of the Kingdom series. If you are new to reading the Bible and want help getting started, I've put links in the description to 3 books. The first one is The Beginner's Bible Study Guide and an introduction to all 66 books of the Bible. Click the link to Amazon where you can buy the Kindle version or the physical book. This book takes each of the 66 books, Old and New Testaments, describes their purpose and content, spotlights key verses, and highlights important themes, and even has study questions designed to help get you started. Or you could try How to Study the Bible for Beginners, your step-to-step guide. It's part of a larger how-to series, but this is a good intro. Even includes chapters on what to read when you are sick, lonely, you feel like giving up, etc. So it's really practical. It even has a section on finding a church. So click the link in the description to get How to Study the Bible for Beginners, your step-by-step guide. Also, there's a link to the Starting Place Study Bible, which is in New International Version, so it's very readable, and it includes a lot of good background information which could be helpful. So if you don't have a Bible, the last time I looked, there was a 55% discount. That's all for this episode. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and smash the bell so you won't miss any new videos when I post them.